I understand the Manship Residency program was able to host artists all year, even through COVID, and that you are having an exhibition showing the year's work. Can you tell us all about that, Rebecca?
Sure. Well, first I should really say thank you to the mayor, Mayor Safatia and her staff, because we would not have been able to do that were it not for all of their help and, understanding what the guidelines were and how we could keep everyone safe. But even during the lockdown, when most businesses were totally closed, we were able to stay open because we knew an essential worker artist who you can see represented right behind me. It's Vanessa Mahalik. And she's not only an artist, a fantastic artist, but also a hospital worker. So, and she had been our artist in residence in January. So we didn't even have to see her. And she could just go straight into the house and be there for 3 months. She's been our longest resident, ever so far. And so she was there through the whole lockdown. And she actually painted this painting behind me during the lockdown. Then when we opened up in June, we were thinking a lot about the artists and how they were struggling. Being members of the gig economy, they didn't really have any outlet for their work, and they were really suffering like all of us, stuck inside. So Mary Jenkins, a former member of the staff member of Mass Cultural Council, she had the idea of inviting artists to come and be on the Manship grounds for a little while. Whether they did any work or not, it didn't really matter, but many of them did. We had over 82 artists work at Manship during this program called Outside at Manship. And most of them made work. And this is what the exhibition is. It's a celebration of the work they produced as a result of this program, which was one of our responses to COVID.
And what were they feeling this summer? Was it incredible relief to be able to be in this beautiful place, to talk to other artists? Were they able to interact?
So, well, in answer to your first question, in June, when they first came, people were desperate to get out because we'd been locked up. We've been literally in lockdown. So just to be in this beautiful place, to be outside, the Manship Project really has so much to do with art and nature together. And this program really brought it all together. So they came, they were so appreciative of being in this beautiful place, of being out in nature, and also to see other artists. We arranged it so that there were a few artists that came at a time. So it's just over 15 acres, the property. So everyone could feel safe. That was the main goal, that they all were safe. But some of them actually signed up for the same sessions. We had a registration process. So they came with their friends. Sometimes they didn't know their friends were going to be there and they got really excited so they could socially distance safely outside at a time when we were still learning what the virus was all about.
And it's so interesting because you think of artists as being, comfortable and used to being solitary. And
Right.
yet they were probably going crazy. I mean, we're all going crazy. So it was probably a combination of having that a workspace outside of being alone in their home and actually being able to interact with their own, with other artists, but also to be able to work, right? And to have a certain amount of solitariness and just get work done. I'm sure that was valuable to them.
Yes, but I think, the other thing about this exhibition you see is we really truly have a community of artists here. And it's very important for artists to have a community because, as you say, they are so isolated in their studio. And so they have those opportunities to get together and to, share their work and learn from each other. And, it's just a wonderful fellowship that they can share. But many of these artists who came, not all of them, they were working in mediums from paint, which is obvious perhaps, but clay and photography, and also, word. We had a poet who responded to the setting. But plein air artists often will go out painting together. They're working separately, but they have those moments when they come together if they're not painting side by side the same subject.
Well, tell us about the exhibition itself.
So it's an online virtual exhibition. The official opening is Thursday night, January 14th at 6:30. And our special guest is Mayor Safatia Romeo Taken. And she'll have some remarks for us as well. And many of the artists will be there. So we'll hear from some of them as well. But I think people will be amazed at, the variety, the fresh boldness of this work. I mean, it's really impressive and exceptional that 57 artists out of 82 artists, 57 have submitted work, and it is all really fresh and bold and very personal. I think they'll love it. Um, it's a really nice exhibition on, even though it's online.
Mm. So can you make any sort of like general statement about the boldness of the work coming out of this really difficult year?
Oh, that always surprises me about artists. You know, how they can create something very beautiful, something that allows us to heal when we're experiencing something so difficult. But I think what you'll find is I don't think there's no indication that this horrible thing is happening in these images. And as I said, they're very, very different from each other. Some of them actually, if you compare them, if you look at them carefully, you'll see that they're standing in the same place, but the image looks totally different. It's really in their own personal style and take, and each one is really stunning and quite exceptional.
For people to engage with at this exhibition, there's a Zoom link I assume we go to and we register, is that right?
If you sign up in advance, you send us your email and we'll send you the link. The day of the event, you can also access the link on the Manship website page, which is manshipartists.org. And that will be on the very front page, the home landing page. And you can access it there as well. And we do ask people to be on time, because it starts at 6:30 promptly. And, we want you to be able to hear what our wonderful mayor has to say and to really have a chance to thank her for holding our art community together, keeping us all safe.
And I assume we should have a little plastic glass of kind of not
Yes.
very expensive white wine with us when we watch.
It could be expensive, whatever you can manage. Yes, bring your own bottle.
Okay, great. Well, I think we're going to be showing some of the images while we're having this conversation. So hopefully people
Great.
actually have a preview. And I have seen some of the images and they are just beautiful. So I look forward to seeing you and the mayor and some of the artists on Thursday night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.